All right. Well, it says I'm live, and I've been working on this today, and I'm ignoring the instructions. They talk about putting glue on it, but I'm going to sew everything. Um, and some things I'm going to sew straight on to this angel, and then stiffen her with the fabric stiffener. Hi, Teresa. And then what was I going to say? Like the wings, I'm going to they go on here, and I'm going to do my best to kind of form them and then stitch them on, but they said to glue them. I may still glue the wings on, but I do want to kind of shape them so they fit her better. But I'm going to sew her arms on. Can you hear me, Teresa? My mouse is acting up, is what Scott determined. So I want where I join the sections to be at the back of her head. So I'm thinking her arm needs to go, that's there. So I'm thinking this arm needs to go here. Okay, awesome. So I hope everybody's having a good day. We went over to Scott's mom's. I was a bit overwhelmed. I'm here by myself, most of the time. And my brother-in-law and his wife and their two boys and their entire families came. So there was like probably 20 people there or something. I couldn't count them. There was children everywhere, and it was really loud. And I'm sure my mother-in-law was feeling overwhelmed too. And I don't know. I had to step outside a couple times just to, let my internal self calm some, find some inner peace. It just felt very overwhelmed. I don't cope in crowds. And to have them, we were inside the house. It's chilly today. And it was a bit much for me. That's all I'm going to say. It was a bit much. All right. So there we got a little arm there. And I'm just kind of tacking it at the back for right now. And now I got to figure out, I got to take this across her body to about trying to get the spacing. I want it to be, hang on. This is just me eyeballing stuff, and let's put her back on the funnel and just see. Now this one is her other arm, and I think I'm going to tie it one more time and then just cut one of the threads away, because this part where I'm sewing these on is going to be hidden under her wings anyway. I did not. It was in another one of those old crochet magazines. If you want me to, Teresa, I'll make a copy and send it to you of the angel. And if you'll notice my notes on here, and maybe you'll make better sense of it. I ended up kind of doing my own thing for rounds 12 and 18. And then up here, I did my own thing too. It's not a very good pattern, but I'll send it to you. I'll make a copy. It was very confusing, the wording, but I've made an angel, and that's all that matters, right? I've made an angel. I'm going to cut one of these off and just leave one to sew with. So technically, I could take this off from here, tie it off, because I can just sew the other arm on and not have to carry. I think I'll do that. So I just want to kind of tack this down in here. Maybe I'll tack it a little farther up her arm and then tie it off. But they said to glue all this on, so you can glue it if you want to. But I thought, well, I think I'd rather just kind of tack it on so that it would hold together better. And I don't know how good my fabric stiffener is. Oh, and something I did do, because I've added this gold because I thought it would be pretty, I did create a little like collar to put around her neck. And I'm going to go ahead and put it right on her and then just paint the stiffener on it. And I'll take the tail to the inside. Howard, it is cold out there, baby. You don't need to go out. I'll let you out. I'll crack it for a little bit, but it's chilly. Daddy's working in the garage, and that's going to scare you too. You'll hear that running. What is it about me going live that makes these cats think they need to go outside? And you're not going to see this unless you look up her skirt anyway, so just cut that one free. Now, we'll put her back on this funnel. This funnel is like the perfect size for this project. I want to make sure the joins are at the back, and you're supposed to cut her some hair, and then her hands are supposed to be praying in the front. So when you get them on here, I'm going to go ahead and try to run the thread up after I sew this one on. Run the thread up the inside arm and then just tack her hands together at the front. So I need to make sure I'm putting this at about the right space there. I will do that for you, Teresa. But this one was really cute, and I thought I had the original one that I had made before, but I thought, well, I found this angel in this one. I had a whole book of angels at one time that you made with those old-timey doll clothespins, you know, the ones with the bald top and then the two legs come down. And those patterns were awesome. See, I told you you weren't going to stay out there. So we're going to put her hands together and see about where this needs to fall. And I'm really just eyeballing. So right about there. Just take a few stitches. And for her hair, they said to wrap the string around a piece of cardboard, and they just said a narrow piece of cardboard. So I don't know how big the piece needs to be. Now don't be turning your arm back, honey. You got to go this way. My sister-in-law loved her dog shirt that I had made for her. And they have invited us to go to Colorado for a week next year. Steve doesn't know his brother very well because Scott's good for like 2 or 3 days anywhere, and that's it. And plus, I don't know. We'll see. I really don't see it happening, but it was nice of them to invite us. It's going to look funny because it just is for a minute here. I just want to kind of make sure. All right, I need to stitch these on. Great, now I got to buy me a funnel. Dollar Tree, Teresa, Dollar Tree. I think they have them at Dollar Tree. And if you can't find a funnel that's like real short here, they tell you to just saw off, but only leave an inch. I bought this one specifically because it was angel shaped. So I'm going to cover this piece of foam I have here with some plastic to use it as a, what do they call it? You know, where you pin crochet things down? A blocking board. I'm just going to use that recycled foam as my blocking board. All right, we get our hands done. And then I'm going to sew her collar on, or necklace, or whatever you want to call it. And then I'll stiffen her up here. And I'll do her wings separate. I may glue the wings on. And then once it's totally dry, I will put her hair on. Because I think you just glue her hair on. Scott doesn't even know I went live. Because he's been out changing the oil in the car. Because the little indicator had come on. And he said it's going to get colder. All right, you got to sit back on here again, honey. There you go. All right, I'm going to sew her hands together. That sounds horrible. Sewing the angel's hands together. You're out of washer fluid? Nothing's open today. We'll have to get that in the morning. We could deposit that check from your mother in the morning. We could deposit the check from your mother in the morning then. That would probably work best. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, did that guy respond to you?
Yeah, he's available tomorrow or Saturday.
Okay, well, we could do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think over the weekend, the traffic will be even worse. Of course, tomorrow is Black Friday, but we're not spending any money this Christmas, so.
We're going to Dallas.
We're going to Dallas, not Texas. All right, so I'm just putting a few stitches through her little hands. Like so. I think that's good enough, but I can't seem to find the loose end of it. Now, have I left enough that I can tie a knot? That'll be the question. We'll do it down here at the bottom of her hands. Can I get that to go up over there? Not really. You know what? I'm just gonna. He had insisted I had to open the porch door, and then he heard you in the garage, and he came flying back in.
I found him.
He's in the garage, Mom. I'm gonna try to carry this as far back as I can. And that'll be all I do, because I'm basically gonna cover in glue here. Okay.
That'll be our next.
So, woohoo, road trip tomorrow. All right, so does that look okay? Does that look like her hands are praying okay? Now this, I can't remember what I did to tell you what I did. I just did a chain, and I kept trying it on her neck like that. And then I did a double crochet in the third chain from the hook, chain 2, and then I did 2 double crochets, but I skipped one of the chains. So it makes like this little collar for her to wear. And I'm just going to sew that on, but I'm going to first sew this down. Looks good to you. Oh, Howard, I got to close that. I'm getting cold, honey. All right, let's see. And this has a little filament on it that makes it a little difficult to do. You know what I think I'll do? Is I will run this back up here. So I have both tails at the same end here, like so. And then I'll tie this in a knot. Maybe. So there's 1, 2. And I'm going to cut this off. Okay. And I've got to use this with the bigger eye because this filament comes separate from the strand of cotton. Let's see here. There's her little hand. So that's the front. There's where the joins are. And I'm just going to put this little thing on here. And basically run this over here and then pull it tight. Uh-oh. Oh, dear. We had way too much food. Way too much food. It was on every surface in my mother-in-law's kitchen. That's why I didn't feel bad about bringing my collard greens and baked beans home. But the baked beans went over real big. Aw, that's cute. And then she'll have some whitish hair. I actually have some of that. What's it called? Angel. It's like a yarn, but it's real glistening white. I have some of that we got thrifting one time. Oh, I like that. Now, let's see here. Go around that one. Try to catch this up here. All right. Maybe run it through a couple stitches. Just to lock it in. Okay. Now the fun part. I've got to get this all pinned nice and pretty and then paint her with the that stiffy stuff, you know. But we got to cover our foam and the funnel with the plastic. And then I'm thinking, how can I form, because her little wings, they've got to have a little bit of an arch where her skirt is. And maybe come up a little higher. I think I will glue them onto her back with some hot glue right in the middle. Because I think if I try to sew it, I won't get it on there right. But I thought I'd come on and show you guys how I'm going to pin her. Oh, my tummy is not looking good. Let's see. You can see what I mean by where I join. The hair will come down over that. And I think I'll put her hair on before I do her wings. I think I'll apply her wings last. All right, so I need to make a copy of that pattern for Teresa. I'm just going to cover this with some plastic. If I ruin this piece of foam, it'll be okay. It's recycled foam out of a packaging. This Publix plastic wrap is very fighty. Having a hard time with the plastic wrap. I think Greg mauled the cutter when he opened it. I didn't make that big enough. Huh? Hi, honey. I'm live. Did you all eat already?
No.
Oh, you're eating tonight? Did you forget something?
Yeah.
Okay. That you just brought home is on the counter. I'm going to use painter's tape to hold this plastic down, I think. You could say Happy Thanksgiving to Teresa. She's the only one here with me. It says 7 people, but Teresa's the only one in chat.
Hi, Teresa. Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh my gosh. I don't know where he gets that from.
I bet you she's laughing right now.
She could be. She could be. Oh, she said Happy Turkey Day. Happy Thanksgiving.
I'm slowly working on getting stuff.
Maybe next year we'll have this house back together and we can all just cook together, the 4 of us. Of course, then her roommate wouldn't get any food unless she took a plate home. Her housemate. I'm having trouble taping this on here. I'm determined to use what I have. I've often thought about, that was actually Gregory. That was my son, Greg. Scott's outside with the car still. Greg and his girlfriend, Rachel, are cooking their own little Thanksgiving meal at her place. So he's been hanging out over there today, and they've been doing their own thing, which is fine. Which is fine. I just want him to be happy in whatever he does. All right. So now we got to put this on here, and I got to remember to leave room for the wings. I'm still pondering. Greg has always loved funny voices. Always. All right. That'll probably be good. That might, well, too late now. And I missed Katinka. She came on and I missed her because we were probably over at my mother-in-law's. Okay, so if I put this on here and I put the back part next to the handle, I think I'm going to just use some straight pins. I'm going to use the ones that have the kind of dull. And I think I'll start, maybe I should start back here. Might turn it just a little bit. Get the center of that little section and pin it in. And then maybe come up here, stretch this down, put a pin in there. Then we'll do the center of this one. And just kind of pin it. And I'm going at an angle because the foam's not very thick. Okay. Let's see, then we need to come over, where this one's poking out the bottom. There. I have to peek every once in a while and see where I'm at. I'll have to find a box for this to live in so it doesn't get crushed. Or I could make a box. I could make a box specifically for this angel. Right. I can hear another one is not exactly where it needs to go. It's this one. Okay. This one's sticking out the bottom too. I just don't want to grab the bottom and stab myself in the hand. That would be painful. Okay, so now we need to come here, pull this one down. So I get to go on a road trip tomorrow that I had not planned on getting to do. So I'll make sure the kitties are all fed good before we head out. All right, we got 2 more little skirt pieces. And see, that gets her pinned so she's nice and even and all that good stuff. Uh-oh. And I'll pin this one here. I love to make these angels. I have one I made when Greg was 4 years old in the other room, but she's bigger than this. She lives in my little hutch of things that I'm proud of that I've made, that I haven't given away. I mostly give my stuff away. All right, so she's there now. It's kind of turning up a little bit. I think it'll be fine though. Her wings. This will go next to her body. See, if I lay it down and stretch it out and she's just flattened out, when I go and it's stiff, if I went up high enough, it might be okay. There's still a little bit of flexibility once you use that fabric stiffy stuff, but it's not a lot. So yeah, and I'm hoping I'll still be able to get it. You know, I should put, once I put the stiffener on, it may be hard to get a needle through, and I was supposed to use a 1-inch styrofoam ball inside the head, but I didn't have that, so I just used polyfill and figured that would be okay. I packed it up in there real good. I'm going to try to do this one flat. This is the right side of it, and that is driving me nuts. Or is that the right side? I don't think it matters. All right, I'm just going to pin this one down flat, and then I'll just do the best I can. So I'll pull that up, put that down there. These are some of my oldest pins. Uh-oh, that's not going to work. That plastic's in the way. Okay. This is really, just do the best you can by eye. And if you work from the counterpoints, then you'll get everything kind of stretched out. Okay. Oh this may be a problem. Ouch. If it goes through the bottom, I'll just have to be careful. And I'll come over here. All right. And I am going to shape the wings a bit more. And we'll draw this up from the center of the little bit here. If I can get it to do. Just kind of stretching it out a little bit and pulling it flat just to give the wings a little bit more dimension. This is just fiddly. But this is what you want to do to, you know, have them look nice and nicely shaped before you stick all that glue down on them. So my angel's going to look a little different than the picture, but that's okay. She's an individual. We're getting there. You use cardboard and plastic? That's a good idea too. The actual mats that they, they want you to buy for blocking, they want like $40 to $60 for foam, and I'm just like, The Harbor Freight has these like what do they call them? The stress reducing mats. They're like $9 for a package of 4. So I could see if you got a nice dense cardboard, you could do this with that too. Taking the time to block stuff really does give you a better finish and all. I just want her wings to look really pretty. The other angel I made is cute, but I used silver on it. I didn't realize I had this gold, or that one would have had gold on it as well. I didn't look close enough because it was sitting right there. Then we'll get the sticky stuff. And it's been a while since I've used it, so we'll see if it's still of any good. There we go. And it's stuck to the table. All right, let me get the stuff. Ooh, I got that pretty. It'll be fine, says Becky. Hang on. Here's the stiffy fabric stiffener that I've had for who knows how long. I don't know if this brush will work or not, but we'll give it a go. Oh, and she's also, you're supposed to use some stranded pearls for her halo. So let me see. Directions. Stir well before using. Apply by brushing, dipping, or smoothing on by hand until material is saturated. Well, we're not going to be able to do that. I'm going to do it with just pour it on and then spread it around with the brush. I think it's nothing but glue and water. I think. I need a sip of tea. So this is a product that was put out, I think, by, it's non-toxic, easy to use, water-based. It's by Plaid. I probably bought this at Walmart when it was in the original location. It's not been there in a long time. So, let's dry this off a little bit before I stick it down in here. My brush will fit in my bottle. So I'm thinking I will just dip it in there. I'm wondering if this is going to kill the glitter on the gold, though. We'll see. I ought to set these pins aside just for blocking now that I'm getting glue on them. I don't know where I'm going to set this to dry, but it'll have to be somewhere cat-proof. My brother-in-law threatened to come adopt some of the cats outside. I said, please do. I said, I'll even help you catch the kittens, and you can take all 3 of them home with you. They're old enough to go home with somebody now. I hadn't really mentioned the kittens, but Juanita's grandchildren are in the yard. Her daughter had kittens because I could never get my hands on her until she'd already gotten pregnant, and she wouldn't come near me until after she'd had the kittens, which, little brat. I would have gotten her spayed a while ago if I'd been able to. Tried to pick her up yesterday and she hissed and bit me, so. Oh, you would dip yours and then put them on the blocking? That was probably a good idea. I didn't ask, so I should ask. How do you do it? Too late now. I'm going to go with this and we'll see how well it does. I would think if I just leave this and let it dry and then take the pins out, I could probably flip them over if they're not firm enough. What do you think? guess I could have pulled her dress a little bit more as well. I think I missed doing peak coats on a part of it too, but I think it's still going to be a cute little angel. I may throw the pins out because I really am getting a lot of glue on them. Whew. This would be a lot more stable if it had the styrofoam ball in it. Hi, JL. Happy Thanksgiving. We didn't eat until after 2 o'clock. So turkey took longer than they expected. So it was huge. They had turkey and ham, sweet potatoes with the marshmallows on top, which I don't really like that. So I didn't eat any of that. And then I made baked beans and collard greens, and the salad wasn't a big hit. The kids thought it was weird. They'd never seen anything like it, the kids that were there. So that's okay. I brought it home. My fellas will eat it up. Scott loves it. He thinks it's delicious. We'll see how this little gal turns out. I probably have, I do right there. I have some gold pearls, so she could have a gold halo. I'll do it like this, and if this doesn't work, I can add more and then repin her down, I reckon. But we'll see. So I hope you guys were able to get some good turkey. Or some chicken if you didn't do a turkey. When it's just Scott and I and we decide to do something like that, at Aldi's, they have just this tiny little turkey breast, and it comes with a gravy pack. It's so easy to just cook, and you can have mashed potatoes with it. I think that's a northern thing, the mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving, because I've never had them since I moved south. at Thanksgiving. I've never had mashed potatoes. But we would have mashed potatoes in New York. I don't remember sweet potatoes ever being a real big thing up there. We'd have Irish potatoes. Annie's Attic has tips to do what? The glue, the stiffener? It's been so long since I did this before. And I think the other little angel I recently made, I did like you said, and I just kind of doused her in the glue, and because I didn't put her over the funnel. Now I'm wondering if I even stiffened her in any way. She's gonna be a pretty little angel. All right. I guess Greg left again. I think he just came to pick up alcohol out of the cabinet we have over there. Scott and I don't drink much anymore. The Ozempic turns off that pleasure center for things like that. So they're saying it's good for diabetes and weight loss, but now they're also thinking of using it to help alcoholics. Because it does. It just, you don't even like the taste of it at all anymore. Think I got it saturated enough? Feels pretty wet. Hi, Carol. Oh, okay. I will have to go visit Annie's Attic. I used to get a free crochet pattern from them in my inbox each day. But I don't know if they still do that, or maybe I just said, oh, I don't need any more patterns. But you know, we always say, oh, I love that. I'll print that off. And meanwhile, we already have a folder full of patterns. All right, I need to stop before I get her too wet and dull out her beautiful sparkly bits. So again, mine looks a little different than the picture in the book because I gave her a collar. But there's my little angel. You can see her little hands are together there. Let me show you what they show in the book. And this is from Hooked on Crochet from when? I don't know. It's number 48. And that's what she's supposed to look like when she has her hair on. And you see they shape them, the wings, a little differently. And I think I messed a row up on the wings. There was a row on the wings that I didn't understand and a row on the body that I didn't quite understand. So I kind of did my own thing. And yeah, we'll see how close mine looks when she's done. Of course, mine's got a collar on, but that's okay. I like it. So that's all I was going to share with you guys, and I hope you haven't heard Annie's Attic in a long time. They're still there. Annie's Attic is, the website's still there. You can order patterns from them and stuff. It's just been a while since I've been in there. So I'll put her together, once everything's dry. They said to wait a day or two before trying to do anything with her. So I will let you guys go. Thanks for hanging with me for about an hour. And I will see you tomorrow, maybe. We'll see. No, I won't, because Scott's taking me on a road trip to Dallas, North Carolina. So we're going to go and spend a little time up near the mountains, which will make my heart happy. I love the mountains. So I will talk to you when I can. All right. Bye, guys.